Morning. Yeah, so this is my service, I guess, my presentation for today. It's in short, like a just kind of total encapsulation of my experience this past 3 years of GPA. So I decided I was thinking of a title. I decided to call it a GPA Carol. If you're familiar with the Charles Dickens story, Christmas Carol, yeah, that's the kind of idea. Yeah, so looking in the past, looking what just happened, and then also what we're hoping to happen. But yes, and all right. So yes, like I said, starting with the past, starting with a recap over, yes, if you attended my first times of sharing my experiences the last 2 years. Um, yeah, it's kind of just going over my second year of GPA. Um, yes, if you remember my first testimony where I shared about how I really experienced God's love and experienced God's kind of heart for me through this one guy specifically on the front line who gave me a burrito. I won't, expand on that, but yeah, but really not being able to really feel and connect to God's boundless and, as the song said, reckless love for myself. That's why I really like this song. Yeah, a lot of my experience during my first and second year was experiencing how much God really wanted to love me and really wanted to give to me and really wanted to help me out in all different kinds of ways and shapes and forms. And practicing gratitude, recognizing God and God's love for myself and for other people as well, and learning about God's words, God's hope, God's ideal. And going into my second year, doing with HUSA, learning about Christianity, learning about their role, their importance as Heavenly USA, and starting to be able to break through with fundraising and continue to connect to the heart of God. And it's in general all centering around experiencing and receiving God's love. It's the first kind of 2 years of my experience of GPA. And how much God loves not just myself, but each and every person that I meet on the front line or that I interact with in my day-to-day experience. Yes, going to the present and experiencing, specifically true mother's love. So, to be honest, during my first 2 years, I didn't really know what I was doing or what I was hoping to gain or hoping for. I was just kind of going through it, but yes, going through this last year, I see a lot of how God has been working and bringing everything into kind of conclusion in this time, and how God has been, shaping my experience without me even knowing it, especially in this last year. So, yes, as many of you might know, this last year has been a eventful year for our movement, going from 2023, the Chongwon dedication, and then we went from there to Rebirth content and Blue Dragon tour, and a whole lot of things that happened this past year. But a lot of it was highlighted and really centered around experiencing the love and heart of true mother, especially being on Heavenly USA, which I did for 2 years. We're often perceived as kind of like the ACLC Christian Witnessing happy singy dancey group of GPA, which is kind of the concept, I guess, people on GPA or outside of GPA have, is we work with Christianity and that's what we do. But Heavenly USA is more than that. The whole reason Heavenly USA was started was in 2019. Reverend Dunkley really wanted a group from GPA to specifically help True Mother and really help and center on what True Mother is focusing on in that time. And during 2019, that was the time of the Prudential Center Peace Starts With Me rally. So, as Heaven USA was created, the small team basically went out and started church witnessing because they needed more pastors and ACLC contacts to go to the Peace Starts With Me rally. Therefore, that's kind of how it shifted into that direction. But yeah, one of True Mother's greatest focuses is Christianity, but not just Christianity, but the youth and just the world in general, unity of North and South Korea especially as well. So these are all kind of things that we focus on, that we pay attention to while on Heaven USA. And so, especially in this last year, with a lot of different kind of understanding and content about True Mother that has been shared with us and being revealed to us, through this last year. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. But yeah, through all the content that's been shared with us, especially on Heaven USA, being able to connect to that kind of love and that kind of heart that True Mother has for, just not just myself, but each person. Again, not just God's overall love for everybody, but specifically True Mother in this time, in this age, as she continues to move forward and she continues to strive towards bringing a heavenly unified world, one world, one family under God. So, a lot of this time has been spent connecting to that, and not only, not just that, but also understanding the heart, the hope of our first generation. Like, let me just look at my notes. Okay, more than any teaching, more than anything that we learn or we intellectually understand, is the experience we have in our hearts with a certain people or a certain thing. Like, for example, Christianity really, really feels that Jesus loves them in their heart and really, really knows that Jesus cares for them and loves them and died for them in their hearts. And I think this is a major disconnect from first gen and second gen, is just this kind of feeling and this kind of experience that, True Parents really loves me and True Parents really cares for me within my heart. But through my experience in connecting to True Mother in this year, being able to experience that kind of heart, that kind of personal love, that personal touch towards myself and towards people that True Mother has, and subsequently also True Father has, and understanding True Father's love more as well. And especially, in the past, True Father really loved and gave a lot of care to the first generation. So understanding that kind of heart and that kind of perspective and kind of love that they have for True Parents, True Father, and connecting that to True Mother as well. And True Father too, through True Mother. And during the rebirth content, actually, I also had a kind of deep or profound experience praying, realizing and recognizing that True Mother is really like the mother of mothers, like mom of moms. Her heart and her love is the same kind of love and same kind of heart that I've experienced growing up from my own mom, from my own mother, that is totally embracing, totally giving, totally loving. It's not just that kind of love, but a perfect embodiment of that kind of love, a perfect totality of that kind of love and experience. And really connecting more and more to what it means to have True Parents, really means to experience, love, true love, not just True Parents, through True Parents, but through my parents as mediators of True Parents, my mother's love and my father's love, as True Fathers and True Mother's love. So, this is, recognizing that and realizing that that's the love that each person wants to realize and recognize and feel within themselves, and really experience in their day to day. This is kind of the ideal that we're striving for and reaching for. Yes. But, as of course, with anything else, it also came with challenges this year. Like I said, um, yeah, a lot happened this year. And I think not just in my own personal experience, but as a movement as a whole, it's just a lot of change of perspective, understanding, and mindset and approach. It's really challenging, to say the least. You know, just receiving the content, I was like, yeah. But like really with the meaning and the application of what it means is really what makes it more difficult or more challenging to go through, especially being on GPA, um, derived from good old MFT. Fundraising is a great way to experience God, but it's also very much how can we restore everything, restore all things through, restoring money and restoring ourselves as well. And while this is still important, feeling the kind of dichotomy of, just trying to experience joy and this kind of hope and ideal, while also, quite frankly, not enjoying fundraising. Especially this year, we spent a lot of the year trying to get our program out of debt. Anyways, yeah. So we were in debt when we started the year. So we spent a lot of this year fundraising, and not only me, but a lot of us were not very good at it. So it was a struggle, to say the least. But going through that year, and facing this kind of reality time and time again was definitely difficult, especially being, again, on this forefront of understanding and connecting to what's providential and connecting to True Mother's words that she's been giving and that she's been sharing, and really this ideal that has been kind of given to us and shared to us in this time. Yet, overcoming and going through these challenges, there was this one, I basically struggled with that almost the entire year until this one fundraising condition where I was really able to connect to how much True Mother really wants us in this time, really wants to give to us in this time, and how she really wants to love not just myself, but other people in this time. This was like near the end of the year. And connecting to that and really being able to feel that artistically and anyways, feeling that artistically and seeing and understanding what that means for myself and for my experience. So, moving forward, there's also a lot of hope that I gained and understood from going through this process and going through this year, especially on HUSA. Again, very focused on what True Mother's trying to do in this time and True Mother's trying to give in this time. And a lot of her words, other than, of course, talking about witnessing and reaching out to, half the population, she's very focused on the future. She's very focused on the future of the blessed children. She's very focused on the future of, the internal environment and the external environment of the world that, not only can we feel artistically true parents and God in our hearts, but also live in a world without pollution and, all these different kind of things. Really focusing on that in this time. I wanted to bring everything into conclusion during this time. This third point, True Mother's really been investing and giving her heart to, work through and fight through all that had to be done before, which left a lot of, hurt and a lot of pain, I think, in a lot of people, through her own family, as you know, and through other, older second generation, other people. A lot of things weren't exactly the most easy or the most simple to go through. And a lot of emotions were felt and experiences were had. But True Mother's still trying to work through that and trying to give to us and share with us what it is that we're striving for and what ideal we're going for in this time. So, yeah, it's not easy. She's been, time and again trying to give to God and give to the world everything that she wants to. But, it's taking time and it's taking effort. But, I really feel that as time goes on, more and more is given and more is revealed and more is shown in this time. So, sharing that great miracles centered on True Mother, only begotten daughter, and centering on the Chunshim One is really, what is happening in this time. And, a lot of time spent connecting to the Chunshim One. Yes. So, no. Okay. Yes. True Mother sharing the greatest gift. Says, I want to create an environment that will enable those of the second generation to fully utilize their talents. For this reason, I am giving you these rooms, True Parents' rooms. This will be the Chunshim One Prayer Hall. Please have the room soundproof. Transform this house into a training center where the Holy Spirit can work. I am giving this to you before I depart. It should be used as a youth training facility that nurtures capable new leaders. So these are the words that True Mother gave in April of 2022. This is right before she opened the Las Vegas Chunshim One. This is when she was offering the Las Vegas house to be turned into the Chunshim One. And experiencing through this year, spending a lot of time of prayer and connecting, and during my second year of Husa, going to Las Vegas and experiencing that kind of environment and that kind of spirit through prayer and through the Chunshim One. Really connecting to the importance and connecting to Mother's hope and vision for it in this time. During this is just a memory, but during one of the morning devotions, there's these words that Reverend Takami shared that True Mother said. It's kind of extreme, but she was saying something like, if we don't center on and practice continuing going to the Chunshim One, within 100 years, we will disappear, which is a very bold statement, but I believe it with all my heart, because I know that this is really where many spiritual works are happening and many spiritual things are happening in this time. And to be honest, when it comes to spirit world and stuff like that, I just trust those who say they're spiritual and know the spiritual works, because I don't connect to spirit world like that. I'm not spiritual like that. If you say that spirits are flying away around, I trust you. I don't see anything, but I trust you because, I think just my own experiences, with spirit world and spirit world moving and working, even though I don't know what's going on or what's happening, but in retrospect, I can see how things have been happening and things have been moving in the background, and how spirit world has really set things up. Even though, again, I can't really experience it like that. But, and really emphasizing this point, why the Chunshim One? Reverend Douglas shared during his Blue Dragon tour, but I came up with a similar analogy I wanted to share. So, imagine you're invited to God's house for dinner, and everything is set up nice and everything's good, and God brings out the food, and you take the food, and you bring it. Oh my gosh, this clicker. Okay. You bring it to the garage or the bathroom. Now, I'm sure this is a very holy garage and bathroom, and it's really nice because it's God's house, but it's still not the kind of place that you want to be eating your dinner, It's kind of just the garage and the bathroom. You put the car in the garage and use the toilet in the bathroom. That's what they're there for. So, God, being the lovely host that he is, set up a dining table, and he put out his best chairs, his best artwork, his uh, napkins on the table, and candlelit dinner. You know? So setting up the entire environment so that you might have the best dining experience at his house. And this is what I really feel about why it is so important to have the Chuncheon. Everything's kind of purposed for a reason. Everything has its own purpose, has its own thing. And this is really, purpose that we can connect to spirit world, and not just connect to spirit world, but also connect to true Father through the Chuncheon. And as he does works in the spirit world, we can connect to him, to Hyojinim, Hungjinim, Daemonim, and all the other saints and sages who have been investing throughout, history. So that's my experience this current year, but also wanting to look towards the future. And I don't know if you attended the Blue Dragon, but this was one of the slides that Reverend Dunkley shared, and again, highlighting the importance of why we need the Chuncheon. And eventually we can reach out to the youth, to Christianity, and to the American president. This is what he shared during the Blue Dragon tour, and this was, again, a lot of these goals can seem kind of high and kind of difficult, but honestly, it makes sense to me. I see like the vision, I see the hope, I see where he's going. It takes each individual step though to get there. And before we can get to, youth Christianity, before we even get to the youth part and reaching out to Christianity and the president, we start with these 6 steps first. I put it on a different slide, easier to read. So it starts, again, with the Chuncheon, and it starts with experiencing Heavenly Parents' love and true parents' love through Chuncheon, through the prayer, through connecting sincerely in heart. And yes, it also depends on each individual, of course. Everyone has their own portion of responsibility, and if you just treat it as a room, then it's going to be a room. But if you're sincere in your heart and your effort to connect to spirit world and to true parents and to God, you can really experience the second step, which is experiencing rebirth. Especially, the young people experiencing rebirth and experiencing that kind of hope and that heart of God and that of true mother and of true parents that, they've been hoping and longing for us. And through this rebirth experience, through finding themselves, through finding their own identity and who they are, and understanding who we are, become one with True Mother, becoming one with True Mother's hopes, True Mother's dreams, True Mother's vision, and in turn, becoming one with God's hope, God's dream, God's vision. Yes. And once we are able to know who we are and experience that kind of hope and become one, we can blow away the shadows of the past. As you know, this is the year of the Blue Dragon, the year to let go of everything, let go and move forward into the next step of building a new culture. And through building this new culture and building this environment where more and more people want to experience God and experience true parents' love, God's love, we have happy witnessing, or even, I like more like the word natural witnessing. If you're happy, then your life is witnessing, If you enjoy what you're doing, and if you enjoy, thank you. But no, seriously, if you enjoy your life and you're happy in your life, then other people will naturally be drawn to you and your experience in your life. But if you're sad and miserable and not really feeling it all the time, then other people will also not really want to do what you're doing because it doesn't sound very fun or exciting. So, but as much as we want to reach this step, you have to start at the first step and work your way up the ladder. So, And Yeah, my brain froze. Okay, yeah, experiencing unity through prayer as well. So it says we need to make it so that countless people, regardless of whether they are of the first, second, or third generations, come here to receive grace, and even participate in the blessing. That is the reason I decided to open up Chunhwangung now. That's the Chunshimwan Vegas house. Many proclamations have been made, but now we need to reap actual fruit in the era of completion. And we must make this into a place where that fruit is harvested. The Family Federation and Youth Federation should unite, centering on Chunshimwan, internal training, and move forward together. As elder and younger brothers, they need to go forward in unity. Yeah. And again, as I mentioned earlier, like really experiencing this kind of heart and hope and understanding like a little bit of the experience of what our parents went through or what the first generation went through, and connecting to this last few lines. The Family Federation, like, that's like ACLC, WFWP, the church in general, first generation, and the Federation, that's like CARP, GPA, YSP, should unite centering on the Chunshimwan. So the first generation and the second generation, the next generation, should unite centering on this heart of prayer, centering on this heart connecting to parents, connecting to Heavenly Parent through sincere devotion and through sincere prayer and connecting with each other. And as elder and younger brothers, they need to go forward in unity. So as much as we'd like to just make changes or like to do things, really, if one or the other just does things on their own, it'll only amount to so much. It'll only bring so much. But sincerely, if we starting here in the Chunshimwan and centering on our prayers and our hearts aligned and united with heaven, then so many more things can move and so many more things can happen as long as we're praying and connecting and aligning with Heavenly Parent, with true parents. Yeah. And this is kind of a conversation from Saturday prayer vigil night vigil, but I wanted to include it is, we have a lot of the, experiences and the content for ourselves already, the Blue Dragon Rebirth content, all that stuff, but we still haven't had the official kind of sharing of true parents theology or sharing of the ideal. It's kind of what we were talking about. This is the last text or last thing that we're waiting on, that we're going towards. And it's really presenting the ideal and striving to live in that way. And that's a lot easier said than done. But nonetheless, finding that kind of hope and that kind of vision and that kind of determination to move towards this ideal that has been presented to us, has been given to us, quite frankly, by true parents. And that's been shared to us in our experiences and our heart and our lives, some lives fully dedicated towards experiencing and finding this ideal. And and it's like going towards an exciting future. Again, if you're happy and if you're excited towards this kind of ideal and this kind of future, more and more people will be inspired to kind of follow and go towards that direction, go towards that hope and that ideal. But it starts with each individual striving to connect to that ideal and each individual striving to connect and move with that in their own lives. So, the importance of connecting to and understanding and feeling this kind of ideal within our hearts. And we generally know it, POC, bring God joy, 3 great blessings, so on and so forth. But like the practical and more importantly, the emotional kind of feeling and aspect of it. How it really feels when you're in a loving environment, how it really feels when, being embraced by your parents or brothers and sisters. Um, yeah, how it really feels to live in this ideal world, this ideal environment. And we all get, the moments and the glimpses and the experiences, but seeking and striving to experience this all the time and experience this in our day-to-day lives. Yeah. So, okay. Yes, moving forward, this is kind of more my hope, my vision, my kind of, yeah, what I see. Of course, it's not, anyways, yeah, it's more my own personal opinion or thought, but what I really want, like moving forward, to see for those around me, is that, yeah, again, centering on all that I mentioned earlier, we can all, each BC and each person in general can find their own path and their own experience, personal experience with God and true parents. Yeah, quite frankly, my GPA experience was not very great, or not very fun. It was great, but it was not very fun at times. And every moment is an experience of growth, but I personally believe that there's more ways to connect to God and to experience God that aren't just suffering all the time, which sounds like a good deal to me, honestly. But, everyone went through their own course, and everyone had their own experience of suffering. And, it's important also to experience that kind of heart of God, but also really wanting to, again, go towards this joyful and exciting future. So, yeah, whether it be GPA or any other way, honestly, having this personal experience, I think, is the most important thing, key thing to me. Like, however you can connect and however you can also be able to, I'm going to go to the next point. Okay, I'm getting ahead of myself. But anyways, however you can connect to God and true parents, especially through prayer, through the Chun Shimwan, and through our environment, creating this environment where more and more brothers and sisters can really feel that within themselves. And through that, everyone is able to find their own passion and each make their own small contribution. Everyone's able to do something that they like to do. Again, something that they want to do, and something that they can continue to do in a small way. It can be anything. It can even just be coming to church on Saturday, cleaning up, or just, we have our, all of our stuff set up. We have tech, we have band, we have everything here. There's a lot of little ways that you can help, you can support, and you can be involved that, can connect to each person's kind of heart and their own individual passion. And this third one is more personal, but it's the fact that I hope that nobody gets burned out and resentful due to being overworked, and we can all move towards an ideal together in little steps. A lot of people kind of experience this, I think, and if you're familiar with like work culture of America today, there's this kind of saying that you're working within your pay grade, because if you do more than what you're paid to do, then you'll just be given more work to do, but you're getting paid the exact same that they were giving you earlier. So you kind of just end up having more work for the same price. And so people like to not do that and really just do the minimum that their job requires them to do, so they don't have to do extra work to get paid the same amount. And some people really like to achieve and really want to go for promotions and stuff, but yeah, generally, that's kind of like this idea, or at least in American work culture, this kind of concept. Except, in this case, we're not getting paid. You're just volunteering and then getting a double workload on top of your volunteer workload. So, a lot of people tend to not like that, and I personally agree or connect to that. But really, it's a lot easier, the more people that take just a little bit, that take a little step, take a little effort. Every little effort adds up a lot more in the long run than one person trying to take a lot of effort at once. So, really uniting together and creating a greater future together. So, yes, in conclusion, um, the Chunilguk, yeah, my experience, especially during my third year, was experiencing this Chunilguk era, experiencing True Mother wanting to bring everything into conclusion, experiencing the heart and the hope and the works that are happening through the Chuncheon and through, through the Chuncheon and through prayer and through devotion, and yeah, through unity with True Mother, with True Parents, Heavenly Parent, and with each other, we can move towards the ideal together moving forward. Yeah, thank you.